In St. Peter's Square, tens of thousands remember Pope John Paul II. We'll have reaction from around the world coming up.
People right here in central Indiana are remembering the Pope as well. Hear their reaction, plus what they believe the Pope's legacy will be.
Plus, the mayor speaks out on Governor Daniels' food and beverage tax plan for a new Colt Stadium. And Chris is live in St. Louis with Final Four post-game reaction next on 24-Hour News 8.
You know what I love about Subway restaurants? Same thing you do. Great tasting food and lots of it. They've got tons of choices, so you can get something different every day. And you get your money's worth. Hey guys, are we done yet? Because I'm going to go check out what deal they have today.
Come into your nearby Subway restaurant today, and for a limited time, you can enjoy one of 5 fresh value meals, each less than $5. That's 5 great tasting meals, each under $5. Only at participating Subway restaurants. Subway, eat fresh.
Spring is here and Bird Ford is overstocked. We're slashing new Expeditions up to $9,500 off list price.
Haven't you heard?
Bird's the word.
Are you prepared? Go to nationwidequiz.com. You can enter to win an adventure sports trip of your choice. Nationwide. Life comes at you fast.
Going coastal. O'Charley's is going coastal with our famous Bayou shrimp pasta and Chipotle shrimp baskets. Only at O'Charley's.
Bells in the Vatican toll signifying the passing of Pope John Paul II. Good evening, it's 11:14. Pope John Paul II was 84 years old.
Tears, prayers, music fill the air as news of the Pope's death reached thousands holding vigil in St. Peter's Square. CBS News correspondent Manuel Gallegos has reaction from around the world.
Pater et Filius.
It was what everyone gathered in St. Peter's Square expected. Yet when word came Pope John Paul II was dead, there was a sudden sense of sadness and relief. First clapping, an Italian tradition. Then grief.
He's finally not suffering anymore, but we'll really miss him here in the city.
John Paul II died at 9:37 in the evening in his private apartment. Among those at his side, his personal secretaries, a cardinal, and 3 of the nuns who always cared for him.
Santo Padre Giovanni Paolo II.
Archbishop Leonardo Sandri told the crowd, our beloved Pope has returned to the house of the Father. Vatican television proclaimed, the angels welcome you. And the Basilica bells tolled. Word of the Pope's death spread quickly from here at the Vatican. A huge outpouring of emotion and sorrow from around the world. In the Pope's hometown of Krakow, Poland, a tremendous sense of loss.
I won't see him anymore.
Masses were held in Spain, France, Jerusalem, and Mexico. President Bush called John Paul II a champion of human freedom.
We will always remember the humble, wise, and fearless priest who became one of history's great moral leaders.
Following tradition, the Pope's apartment is closed off, and his fisherman's ring and personal seal are broken to symbolize the end of his spectacular reign. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, Rome.
And here's a live look at St. Peter's Square, where some are still gathered in prayer. A memorial mass is scheduled there at 10:30 their time Sunday morning. Italy's leader has declared 3 days of mourning.
President Bush has ordered U.S. flags at all federal buildings and facilities to be flown at half-staff until the day of the Pope's burial. Back in 1979, the pontiff became the first Pope to visit the White House. And here in Indianapolis, the passing of the Pope is also being felt deeply by the Catholic community.
Archbishop Daniel Beekline says John Paul II is leaving a monumental legacy. News 8 would like to welcome our newest reporter, Anthony Ponce, to the family. Anthony, you were with the Archbishop earlier. This is a difficult time for the entire Catholic community. I'm sure the loss is being deeply felt by the Archbishop as well.
Well, Deanna, you can definitely tell the Archbishop was pretty shaken up. But he also says during this transition time, people should take comfort in the Catholic tradition that's been around for centuries. It was a day of mixed emotions for parishioners at Mary Queen of Peace in Danville this afternoon. The Archbishop was there to install a new pastor, but also to mourn the loss of their spiritual leader.
But he's left us so much in terms of his teachings, in terms of his showing us how to live, and I think if we focus on that, and God will provide for a successor.
Just like every Catholic in the Archdiocese, I'm very sad and heartbroken about it.
Bishop Beekline says it's okay to feel that way, but people should also have faith in the centuries-old transition process.
The way in which the interim until a new pope is elected is very well scripted, and I'm sure that's already in process in Rome, and more information about that will be forthcoming.
In downtown Indianapolis, St. John's Catholic Church was draped in a large black shroud, a sign that the Pope had passed. Even people here for the women's Final Four couldn't escape the news.
He was part of us, but yet you respected him, and you certainly looked up to him as a figure, as a leader.
Well, I know he traveled here numerous times. I never actually got to see him, but I knew when he was in our country, and I think that spoke highly for him, that he was not just, you know, in Vatican City, but he went all around the world.
His life was a gift for God and for all of us. May he rest in peace.
The Archbishop's leading a special Mass this week for Pope John Paul II. That's this Monday at noon at the downtown cathedral. Mike and Deanna?
Anthony, thank you so much.
For the first papal death of the 21st century, the announcement came by email. Past papal deaths have been signaled by bells and bronze doors closing. But today, when Pope John Paul died, Vatican officials passed the word on to reporters by email.
The Vatican says the Pope's body is expected to be brought to St. Peter's Basilica sometime late Monday. A statement says the College of Cardinals will meet at 10 a.m. Rome time Monday to set a date for the Pope's funeral. After an official mourning period, those cardinals will hold a secret vote in the Sistine Chapel to elect a successor to John Paul. Under Vatican tradition, that process will begin no later than 20 days from the Pope's death. Some Catholics in Indianapolis are looking back on the Pope's life and legacy tonight.
News 8's Tony Perkins has more on what people think about Pope John Paul II's place in history.
The Archbishop of Indianapolis noted during Saturday morning Mass that the Pope not only was seen by more people around the world, but he also saw more of the world than any pope before him.
He once remarked to priests and bishops that we should pray what we are about to proclaim.
It is one of the reasons why Pope John Paul II will be remembered as one of the most influential leaders in history.
Well, I think he's going to be known as not just a pastor for Catholic people, but also a really pastoral leader for the world.
Some of the people who attended the Mass at St. Peter and Paul Cathedral saw the Pope's legacy in simpler terms.
I think he'll be remembered for his love, to show the way for Christ and to follow the Lord.
He is our spiritual leader here on earth and has done a wonderful job, and he will be very sorely missed.
His legacy is spreading peace throughout the world. This Pope has been seen physically by more people than all of the popes before him combined. And his mission of peace should be his legacy.
The Pope from Poland oversaw the fall of the Iron Curtain and the end of communism in Eastern Europe.
But he would maintain it wasn't because he was politically active, but it was because communism was doomed to failure because it did not respect the dignity of the human person.
Pope John Paul commanded huge crowds wherever he went. Parishioners noted the crowd waiting for news in Vatican City this weekend is no exception.
We talk about the rock stars and all that. He's, you know, so far above all that, and in all of his humility. And that's what makes him such a great person, his prayerfulness.
Tony Perkins, 24-Hour News 8.
During the Saturday morning Mass, the Archbishop noted the Pope has run the race and has kept the faith. As ceremony today here in Indianapolis honoring two American legends, rededicating the landmark for peace.
They were dribbling their way to Hoop City downtown today. We'll take you to some of the festivities. And some local players are back in town competing for the Women's National Championship. A preview of the Final Four later on Sports Locker.
The terrifying power of tornadoes hasn't changed over time, but how we protect you from them has. Forecast 8 takes on Twisters. See what it's like to chase a tornado, what's being done to keep you safer from them at public events, and go back 40 years when tornadoes hit without warning on the deadliest day in Indiana history.
Our Viper technology changes everything. See how it's your best tool for staying safe this tornado season.
Watch Twister, Season on the Edge, Sunday at 6:30, only on 24-hour News 8.
Hello?
Tim, it's John. I hate to do this, but we have to eliminate some positions, and yours is one of them.
What? You're firing me over the phone?
I guess so. It's just business.
Where are you?
No, I'm at the conference in Atlanta.
Every employee is valuable to us. Our profits are the highest they have been in the history of our company.
Air Tran Airways announces new service from Indianapolis.
My name's Matthew, and I'm an Indians fan. My dad's an Indians fan, too. My grandpa's also an Indians fan. His great-grandpa ate turkey with the Indians, so it's in my blood. I like eating turkey sandwiches, too, and nachos. I like when our team hits a home run. My dad screams, and my mom's okay with it.
Baseball up close. It's in your blood. Great seats are just $8. Call 239-5151 or visit IndyIndians.com.
Nobody else had stow-and-go seating and storage.
It's America's best-selling minivan.
With bonus cash.
Got a 5-star side crash test rating.
Got stow-and-go fold flat seats for me. Lots of storage for him.
I got 0% financing.
Hurry in now and join over 1 million proud new owners during the Dodge Spring Sales event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Get big cash allowances plus March bonus cash allowance for a total of up to $3,500 on Dodge Grand Caravan.
I got the Caravan I wanted.
We got a DVD.
Why take your family to a casual dining restaurant and pay $8 a person when you can get the same quality meal for half the price at KFC? Get 10 pieces of Kentucky Fried Chicken, 2 large home-style sides, and 4 biscuits for less than $4 a person. Your dollar goes further at KFC.
You're watching Wish TV, your 24-hour news station. Now, Mike Corbin, Shanna Kelly, meteorologist Ken Brewer, and Sports Locker with Anthony Calhoun and Chris Widlic. News 8 at 11 continues.
A monumental piece of history was rededicated today. The Landmark of Peace was unveiled about 10 years ago. It remembers the place where in 1968, Robert Kennedy revealed to a largely African-American crowd that Dr. Martin Luther King had been shot and killed. State Representative Bill Crawford was there that night.
There were over 100 communities in this nation that went up in flames. But because of the way that Bobby Kennedy made that presentation that night, we left not in anger. We left committed to continuing the work that Dr. King and Bobby and the challenges that they laid out for us.
Just 2 months after that speech, Robert Kennedy was killed by an assassin's bullet. On Monday, a state historic marker will be dedicated at the site at precisely 6:01 p.m., the same moment Dr. King was killed 38 years earlier.
Mayor Bart Peterson has thrown his support behind Governor Daniels' plan to help pay for a new Colts stadium. The mayor today announced he's supporting the plan to raise the regional food and beverage tax. If passed, you'll see a 1% hike in the tax you pay at restaurants in Marion and 7 surrounding counties. Half the tax hike will go toward the stadium. The other half will go to the counties for their own projects. Leaders predict the initiative will raise $22 million a year for the stadium and convention center expansion.
This is a very big moment. We've worked a long time. A lot of people in this office and a lot of people across this city and state have worked together for a long, long time to try to make this possible. And this is a breakthrough moment. To be able to agree on a funding source for the majority of the funding for the stadium component is huge.
The legislature and local governments must still approve the plan. The governor is asking for state oversight of the project.
Many parts of the nation will move their clocks forward early tomorrow morning, but not us, at least not yet. Indiana's time change bill could be voted on by the full House as early as Tuesday. The U.S. Department of Transportation has endorsed the plan that calls for residents in most of Indiana to start observing daylight saving time for the first time on June 5th. 10 Indiana counties already observe daylight saving time.
Basketball in Indiana is not just about watching the game, but you know that, don't you? It's about jumping in as well. Hoop City showcases college basketball by making the game fun. Tamika Catchings was making it fun for hundreds of kids, dribbling their way around town in the Circle City Dribble. But the events weren't just downtown. There were special basketball clinics held around the city aimed at putting the polish on a kid's game.
We get more out of it than the kids do, just being able to work with them, because we've got all ranges. We've got players or kids that have never really touched a basketball before, and we've got really good players that have been to a lot of camps and things like that. So it's great to see the whole range.
Hoop City continues Sunday morning with a clinic for Special Olympic kids at 10:30. Additional clinics will be held in the afternoon at the Convention Center.
And Hoop City more like the Windy City today, as wind gusts in our forecast 8 WeatherBug Network sites 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts in some spots, including one spot, the Walcott this afternoon, 4:27 p.m., a 52 mile per hour gust. Calmer weather for your Sunday. We'll run it down for you next.
Can I get a smoky cheddar quarter-pound double stack for $1.39?
Certainly, sir.
Can I get a new Fix and Mix Frosty with M&Ms for $1.29?
Certainly, sir.
Can I get a 99-cent crispy chicken nuggets?
Of course.
Can I get it to go?
Absolutely.
Can I get an interest-free loan, minty fresh breath, and a cold remedy that doesn't cause drowsiness?
Introducing Wendy's new Value Choices menu with 15 delicious menu choices from 99 cents to $1.39. You're in complete control. Just don't push it. Wendy's, it's better here.
The 265 horsepower Acura MDX with electronic four-wheel drive. Because you never know what nature might throw at you.
Two dogs with fleas. One calls his vet for Frontline Plus. The other gets the number 2 product. Both claim to be long-lasting, but over half the dogs treated with the number 2 product had fleas after just 1 week. The Frontline dogs? Not one flea. Frontline is the one that's waterproof and kills fleas fast all month long. So ask for the vet's number 1 choice, Frontline Plus, and say goodbye to fleas and ticks.
My bank is changing names again. So I changed to Fifth Third Bank.
Fifth Third gives me all the banking products I want, whenever I need them.
With Fifth Third, I get the strength and stability of a bank that's been here for over 145 years.
Now that's powerful. Don't wait for your bank to change names.
Put the power of change to work for you. Change to Fifth Third Bank. Change to Fifth Third Bank.
Fifth Third Bank.
Working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need.
This portion of the news brought to you by Freshetta Brick Oven Pizza.
We have some delightful news to report for you tonight. The Indiana Associated Press Broadcasters Association handed out their awards tonight. Wish TV took home first place for Outstanding News Operation and Best Station for Photojournalism. Also, David Hodge won first place for Best Sports Videography, and retired anchorman Mike Ahern was inducted into the association's Hall of Fame. Congratulations to everybody. Mike, congratulations to you. To everyone involved in the awards tonight. There it is.
Look at that.
Best news operation of the year.
We're pretty excited about it.
Yes, we are
pretty excited.
That's right.
Got it here in my hand.
There you go.
And then I'm going to put it safely in the boss's office right after we get done. Yeah.
Can you top that?
No, I don't think I frankly, no. But
60
hold on
degrees,
to it. That's
pretty,
right.
yeah.
We'll hit the 60s and actually
that's
back
pretty
to
cool.
the mid-70s here over the next several days.
Wow,
So
nice.
kind of a repeat of what we saw last week. Nice warm weather in the early part of the week, storms in the middle part of the week. But first, a look at what you had to encounter out there today from our tower camera and taking a look at the winds that we had out there. Not good if you don't like lots of motion there. Camera bounced around all over the place, and the winds gusting up to about 40 miles per hour at times here across the area. And again, winds have already calmed down quite a bit, and we'll see a much more tranquil weather pattern for the day on Sunday. Forecast 8 Futurecast shows that the system that brought in all that gusty wind will continue to slide on off to the east. That's indicated by the long arrows there. Notice how they get smaller and shorter. That indicates the lighter winds are going to move in overnight. We hit 55 for a high today, 58 the normal high, so just a little bit shy of where we should be for this time of year. Of course, the winds made it feel a little bit colder than that. Temperatures in the mid-40s right now, northwest wind at 12, humidity right now at 51%. Temperatures should bottom out in the low to mid-30s here with that lighter wind and clear skies here tonight. We expect to see plenty of sunshine for the day on Sunday. Just a few mid to upper level clouds will start to pass on by here as we go throughout the rest of the day. You'll see those drift in. Winds will shift to the west and eventually to the southwest. That's going to allow for that big warm up that we're going to see here over the next several days. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon topping out in the lower 60s for most of the viewing area, and then the warm up really starts to kick in. Lots of southwest winds and upper level atmosphere. High pressure will start to build in. We'll see highs in the lower 70s on Monday, mid 70s for highs by the time we hit Tuesday. So great news for those in town for the women's Final Four. Looks like we'll see some nice weather. Clear skies tonight. Temperatures dropping down to about 34 for a low. And for the rest of the day on Sunday, we'll see temperatures starting off in the low 30s, mid to upper 50s by noon, lower 60s by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it looks like Sunday will be a near perfect day, only to be topped by what we're going to see Monday and Tuesday. 73 for a high on Monday, 77 balmy degrees on Tuesday, but just like what we saw over this past week, when you get the warm temperatures, you got to cool off a little bit in the spring, and that means possibly a bumpy day on Wednesday with some thunderstorms. And looks like cool weather patterns setting in towards the end of next week.
Hey,
and we also want to promote.
Have to follow those
wonderful
temperatures.
And don't forget our weather special coming up tomorrow at 6:30. Twister Season on the Edge, a recap of severe weather from last year, and look back at the 40th anniversary Palm Sunday outbreak and some science technology that you don't want to miss that could help us with tornado forecasting in the future tomorrow at 6:30.
Look forward to that. Thanks a lot.
Downtown Indy definitely hopping, all because of college hoops. Anthony Calhoun standing by Sports Locker.
That's right, Mike. A big weekend in college basketball tipped off tonight in St. Louis. That's where we find Sports 8's Chris Widlic with more on the men's Final Four. Chris?
Well, AC, no close finishes, but some fantastic Final Four action inside the Edward Jones Dome. We'll hear from the victors next.
All right, plus we haven't forgotten about the ladies. We'll get you ready for tomorrow's Final Four and introduce you to a couple of Tennessee players who are happy to be back in Indiana. The RL is preparing for its first ever road course race. Sports 8's Nicole Mansky is in St. Petersburg and has a preview of tomorrow's race. Plus, the Purdue football team kicks off spring practice. Yeah, that's right. Find out what the Boilers think about life after Kyle Orton. That and more tonight on Sports Locker Saturday.
Can I help?
You can put the pizza in the oven.
Freshetta brick oven.
Freshetta brick oven pizza with authentic fire-baked taste and a crispy crust. It'll turn your oven into a brick oven. Freshetta brick oven pizza. Now that's fresh.
When the world's just waking up, I'm already out on the road. There's the Beckers. Our kids play ball together. That's the new industrial park we just built lines into. If you work for a local electric co-op, you're part of the community, just like everybody else. You make every customer feel like they own the business you work for. Because in an electric co-op, they do.
Great lawn. Thanks. How'd you do it? It's easy. I use Scott's. Four-step.
Now having a thick, lush lawn all year long is easy with Scott's 4-Step, the foolproof lawn care program that tells you what to do and when to do it. Visit your local hardware store or garden center for the Scott's 4-Step annual lawn care program.
You know, George, people tell me all the time how smart our salespeople are. Well, that's what keeps H.H. Gregg delivery trucks running, Joey. What? Our people know all the latest cutting-edge technology, and they explain it simply. Oh, so our salespeople explain it, people buy it at the very best price, and then we deliver it. Exactly. It's like a big chain reaction. Chain. You know, my mom used to call me the missing link. Smart woman.
H.H. Gregg. We can explain it, deliver it, and install it.
Got cabin fever?
We've got the cure. It's Watson's Spring Sale.
Best spas, best prices. Sale prices on hot tanning beds.
Spring sale.
That's Watson's.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Sports Locker Saturday. I'm Anthony Calhoun. If you're a college basketball fan, this weekend's for you. 8 teams, 6 games, 2 champions, and the men's and women's Final Fours take center stage here in Indianapolis and also in St. Louis. In fact, that's where we find Sports Aid's Chris Widlic, who has more on tonight's games. Chris?
Well, AC, it wasn't the great drama that we saw a week ago, but in the end, the top 2 teams in the nation will play for the national championship on Monday. In the opener, top-ranked Illinois used an aggressive defense to completely shut down Louisville sharpshooter Francisco Garcia to get it done. Let's go to the highlights. Illini coach Bruce Weber's mentor, Gene Cady, looking nervously on, but why? The Illini in transition. The one-man fast break. D. Brown lays it in. Illinois jumps out early, 10-5. Orange and blue loving to run. Big Nick Smith finishes. The Illini Biggies making the difference. Now, Louisville thought they could go inside all night. Ellis Miles leading the Cardinals with 17. Illinois leads 31-28 at the break. That's when Roger Powell took over. Misses a 3. Watch him follow with a flush. 18 of his 20 in the second half. How about Jack Ingram? He was solid all night long. Cans the jumper. 50-49. 10 minutes to play. All Illinois from there. Powell's putback starts an 11-0 run. And how about Luther Head icing it? 4 trays in the second half on the way to 20 points. Illinois rolls to the final 72-57, playing their game despite the intense spotlight.
I told the kids, it is another game. I understand there's 47,000, but we've been in on the center stage all year. I talked about just being a ball player. Whether you're playing one-on-one in the park, you're playing 3-on-3 in the gym, there's no one that you got to play the same way you do with that. I'm not sure it got to them, but that was something we emphasized.
Whether it was the Final Four or just, back in Champaign, it was kind of one of those games that, we just have done what we've done all year, and we were successful, and, maybe it'll hit later on tonight, but it's something that I think, it's a positive for us.
This game, it just feels like any other game. I don't know if it's because we're not satisfied yet and we have one more game, but, it just feels like another one. I think that's good.
We're excited, but it's not really, it's just like a regular game, Now, if we win on Monday, then it'd be different.
We wanted to get here badly. We wanted to win a championship badly. And our effort was there. Our desire was there. But Illinois was better.
Could it be an all Big Ten final? Michigan State and North Carolina in the nightcap. Maurice Ager with the slammy at 24. Spartans up 4. How about Shannon Brown from the outside? Hits the 3. 38-33 State at the half. But the Tar Heels come out oh so strong after the break. Jawad Williams was solid. He would score in the lane. Carolina has the lead. Jawad with 20. Top of the break, Raymond Felton was solid, as was Rashad McCants. This is Felton laying it in. Carolina is on cruise control. And how about Sean May? He was huge. The alley-oop flush. The Bloomington North product tallies 22 points, pulls down 7 boards. Carolina rolls to the final 87-71. Sean May says the second half got it done.
I didn't play well in the first half, and tonight I only had 7 rebounds, and I didn't do my job in that aspect of the game. But Coach, he just said you guys have a chance if you go out there and compete, and I think everybody did their part. Jawad, Marvin had big rebounds. Rashad was in there battling, and it was a difference in the game.
And I challenged them at halftime, and that we were 4 down against Villanova. 5 was nothing if we went out and played, and you just got to look at these youngsters up here and realize how hard they competed in the second half against a big-time Michigan State team.
So the Tar Heels will take on the Fighting Illini of Illinois Monday night right here on Wish TV, CBS Tip Time, about 8:20. Illinois and Carolina should be a dandy. Sad to see Michigan State's Chris Hill's dream end. Not a good game for him, but the Lawrence North product had a fine career at Michigan State. AC?
Yeah, you're right about that. On the basketball court, also in the classroom as well. Chris, I got to ask you, who do you like coming up on Monday, the Tar Heels or the Fighting Illini?
Well, I'll tell you what, North Carolina can't play just one half like they did tonight against Michigan State if they're going to get it done against Illinois, because the Illini can slow it down. They could play in transition. Carolina's going to have to crank up the defense to have any chance. Right now, I like Illinois taking care of the Tar Heels.
Yeah, it would be nice to see the Big Ten do well. We'll see more of you coming up a little bit later on Sports Locker, okay? All right. Meanwhile, tomorrow night, the ladies take center stage as the women's Final Four tips off right here in Indianapolis. Now, one of the favorites has to be Tennessee. This is the 4th straight year that the Lady Vols have made the Final Four, and the school has already won 6 titles. Leading the way would be a couple of players with Indiana ties, former Ben Davis star Shira Eli and former Wawa C star Jana Zolman. Both play big roles for their team. In fact, they're the only 2 members on the team to average double figures in scoring. Both ladies are excited to be playing for a national title in their home state.
It's just, really comforting to know that, my mom and dad will be there, my brothers and everything. And so it's the whole experience. I'm just excited, and I think that it's helped me relax a lot just being in this atmosphere.
It would be so much more storytelle, fairy tale ending type for myself, for Shira, to do this at home. But we're not going to let that add any more pressure to us. We're trying to just relax and play our game and not play for any other reasons and just to have fun and because it's the game we love.
Good luck to the ladies tomorrow. Meanwhile, Tennessee will take on Michigan State Sunday night. Although the Spartans are playing in their first Final Four, don't expect them to be intimidated by Tennessee's impressive track record. MSU knows what it takes to win in Indianapolis. They captured the Big Ten championship at Conseco Fieldhouse back in March, and the Spartans are confident they'll be ready to play come tomorrow night.
They have a tradition, they really do. And but the thing is with us is when we step on the court, it's us versus them. It's the Michigan State of now versus the Tennessee of now.
They have great defense, man-to-man. They're physical. They love to grab and hold. And we're used to that. I think the Big Ten is one of the toughest in the conference. We like those physical games. It's a blood battle. We love it, and we're just going to go out and enjoy it.
Should be a lot of fun tomorrow at the RCA Dome. The first game, Baylor taking on LSU at 6 o'clock at the RCA Dome. Then after that game, you'll see Michigan State taking on Tennessee tomorrow at 8:30. Keep it here to Wish TV. We'll have all your team coverage coming up from the RCA Dome tomorrow night on Sports Locker Sunday. So to come here on Sports Locker Saturday, more from St. Louis as new Purdue head basketball coach Matt Painter talks about what needs to be done to turn around the Boilermaker program. Plus, spring practices are officially underway in college football. We'll see how Purdue is getting along with a new quarterback and how IU is getting along with a new head coach. And after years of always turning left, what's it like for RL drivers to finally turn right? Sports 8's Nicole Bansky checks in with the latest from St. Petersburg when Sports Locker Saturday rolls on.
Sports Locker, brought to you by Freshetta Brick Oven Pizza.
You're watching people come home to their brand new Beazer home. Unfortunately, you can't feel the quality construction, or meet their new home counselors, or see all the personalized choices they selected. But then, neither can Laura here. She kisses with her eyes closed. For a community that's right for you, visit Beazer.com. Beazer Homes. Someday starts today.
Excuse me, I think the tube is stuck.
Okay, I'll be right there. Be right back. It's so cold out there.
Excuse me, I think the tube is stuck.
Relax into it. You got
got it. Get over here. You got to get your head in the game. You're stepping in the bucket. Your mechanics are miserable. What are you thinking about? Again? You got to be kidding me. Get over there.
He's thinking about Arby's Bacon Cheddar Melts. Come in and get 2 of them for just $3. It's an amazing deal on a delicious sandwich that'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
For whatever lifestyle you live, we have your furniture, and always at the guaranteed lowest prices. Right now, pay only $7.99 for this elegant 100% leather living room. Save $500 on the glove-soft all-leather sofa and matching chair. And you can have your new living room in just 72 hours. No matter how you buy, we give you the guaranteed lowest prices. The real deal. Today at Value City Furniture.
We're back on the locker, and this weekend, our drivers will do something that has never been done in the league's 10-year history. They'll turn right. The RO runs its first ever road course race on Saturday in St. Petersburg. Sports 8's Nicole Mansky is there and has a preview of tomorrow's history-making event.
Texas Hold'em at 179 miles an hour. That's what qualifying was like during the inaugural St. Pete Grand Prix. You see, qualifying was a little bit different. They took the top 6 fastest qualifiers in the first section and let them go at it again during a 10-minute section. In that time period, we saw Brian Herta go from 4th to 1st to nab his 2nd pole in as many races.
It's easy for me to say that it's a good thing because it worked out for me, but I really do think it was good. I was really on the fence whether it was going to be a good deal or not, but it's exciting. I mean, I think the single car thing I think is not as exciting, 1 car at a time, but that 6-car shootout, I think for me it was really exciting, and it put a lot of pressure on the 6 of us to go out and try and improve our time, and you know, I think that's what it's all about.
The good news is that this team, our team Penske, know what they do. Pit stop's great. We just need to be patient because tomorrow it's 100 laps. Or 105 laps, or whatever. It's a lot of laps. Basically, it's going to be a good one. It's just to be patient.
It was fun. Very high adrenaline, and you know, trying to drive as fast as you can without crashing. So it was really fun.
We changed the tire pressure, and that hurt the balance in the car for that 10-minute shootout. Where I thought we had a much better car in a single lap. So yeah, we've learned from it. You know, 4th isn't too bad, and we've got our teammate on the pole with Brian Herta, did a great lap. So we'll get out there tomorrow and try and win the race.
At St. Pete, I'm Nicole Mansky, 24-Hour News 8.
All right, thanks a lot, Nicole. College football may seem like it's a long way off, but spring practice is underway on campuses across the nation, including Purdue. 89 players in the field this afternoon for the first day of spring workouts for Purdue. It's one of 14 practices this month, which wraps up with the annual spring game on April the 23rd. Boiler fans can expect a new look on offense now that Brandon Kirsch takes over as quarterback for Kyle Orton. Head coach Joe Tiller says he knows what he wants to see out of his new quarterback.
Oh, just the mastery of the offense, and make sure he picks up the new stuff we're doing. I want to make sure that he does a good job of hitting the open receiver and not the open linebacker.
I definitely have the field experience, and I know everybody's going to say that I've had some off-the-field issues in the past, but that's over. I've grown up now, a lot more mature, and it's time to lead this team to a Big Ten championship.
So here's a look at Purdue's first 5 games of the upcoming season. They'll take on Akron on September the 10th at home. Then they're at Arizona on the 17th. Then at Minnesota on the 24th of September. Notre Dame at home October the 1st. And then Iowa October the 8th at home as well. Meanwhile, IU began spring practices a couple of weeks ago. Nicole Mansky went to Bloomington to see how the Hoosiers are adjusting to their first workouts under their new head coach.
What do you think about the first practice under Coach Hefner?
He did a great job today. You know, he had us flying around. He made sure we were in line. You know, and for first practice, I thought things went real smooth.
It was exciting. You know, I mean, gave us an opportunity and finally get out here and do what we do best.
All right, first practice under Coach Hefner. What do you think? Grade him for 1.
I think he's a great coach, and he has us on the right track. I know a couple practices when I was here.
Under the previous coach?
Yeah. you know, it didn't go as smooth.
A lot of improvement to do, but I think we'll be okay.
Grade them. How did they do?
You know, I'd give us, overall, I'd give us a B, an A for effort, probably a C for execution.
The offensive line had a lot of injuries last year.
We lost some key guys last year, and they were finally back today, and it was nice to have them back and start gelling as a unit.
The offensive line was riddled with injuries last year. This year you have 18 on the roster. Was that on purpose to prevent something like happened last year again?
Well, you know, that's my favorite position anyway, those offensive linemen. You have to have the big uglies.
You're bringing two guys over from you from Miami of Ohio that had that defense top-notch in the MAC. Can that success translate to the Big Ten?
Oh, there's no doubt. You know, we've had success against Big Ten teams playing our style of defense.
I don't see why I couldn't, you know. We got a lot of talent on this team now.
Can that success transfer over to the Big Ten?
You know, I think we got the tools to do a lot of great things on defense.
The defense, you win championships with defense, so we've got to make sure we have the right people there and that they keep playing fast like they did today.
The quarterback situation is one of those really big questionable ones that you have right now. What are you thinking early on in the season?
Well, you know, I think number one, we have some quality individuals there. Like I say, we threw a lot at them. There was a lot of offense. If you're going to be a no-huddle offense, you have to start fast. It's hard to ease into something like that.
Your thoughts on guarding someone and protecting someone who's maybe young or inexperienced?
That means just have to step up our game that much more, you know. I mean, we got to make him feel comfortable back there and be able to make his throws and do the things he needs to do.
What about that Big Ten schedule? It's not getting any easier.
That's okay. That's why I came to the Big Ten, because I like that type of competition.
It's always hard every year you play it, so, you know, otherwise it wouldn't be the Big Ten.
I always said I wanted to play a lot of Big Ten teams. Well, I got my wish.
Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, a lot of games against big teams at their schools. Does the Big Ten schedule get any harder?
I mean, it's the Big Ten. I mean, it's the best. I mean, in my opinion, the best conference in the nation. You know, I mean, every game there's a fight, and it's going to be no different this year.
All right, so take a look at that schedule for IU. The first game they'll take on is September the 2nd against Central Michigan. Then they'll face Kentucky, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Those are some of the games they'll play for the Hoosiers starting out the season coming up this fall. Well, so to come on Sports Locker Saturday, we'll introduce you to a man who had his string of watching 73 high school state finals snapped last weekend. A story you don't want to miss. Plus, the Matt Painter era has officially tipped off at Purdue. Sports 8's Chris Widlic finds out what the future has in store for the Boilermaker program when Sports Locker Saturday continues.
The road's most acclaimed muscle car is back with a vengeance. Ford Mustang. All new with a touch of history. And a powerful V8 that'll push 300 horsepower down an I-70 straightaway. Mustang. The legend lives. And right now, the all-new Ford Mustang is priced from just $19,995. Visit your Indiana Ford store today. Mustang. Built for the road ahead.